Hey everyone, my name is Robert Stafford Long. This is my persuasive speech. My three audience members are my mother, Elizabeth.
Hello.
My brother, Pearson.
Hello.
And my girlfriend, Libby.
Hello.
So, 19 states and Washington, D.C. have banned it. The Transportation Department prohibits truckers and bus drivers from doing it. President Obama has outlawed the practice for all federal employees, and Jonathan Atkins, the governor of Highway Safety Association, thinks it should be forbidden in every single state. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Texting while driving. My specific purpose of this speech is to persuade you all to agree with me on the fact that we should ban the use of cell phones while driving. I'm going to touch on the subjects on why texting while driving is bad, a couple of studies that have provided shocking evidence on how impaired someone is when they are texting and driving, and the comparison of texting while driving and driving drunk. So first off, texting or using cell phones while driving is very hazardous to yourself and the people surrounding you. One reason most people are against this action is because it causes a great amount of car accidents every year. While driving, adults and teenagers cannot resist the urge to pick up their cell phones and send a text or respond to one. When the drivers hear the vibration or the ring, nothing can stop them from checking their notifications on their phone. Nowadays, we can find many studies that examine the effects of texting while driving. The one conclusion they all seem to have is that texting while driving impairs the driver's abilities. No one, or one of the most obvious things that happens when drivers are texting is that a driver would avert his or her eyes from the road for about 5 or so seconds. This is more than enough time for a person to run in front of the vehicle or for the vehicle to swerve in front of oncoming traffic or what have you. Despite all that, many people still text while driving. There are many laws being established to try to prevent prevent drivers from being distracted, although they cannot completely stop it. No matter what age the driver is, under no circumstances should they be texting while driving. Secondly, according to researchers from the University of North Texas Health Science Center in Fort Worth, texting behind the wheel accounted for 16,141 deaths between 2002 and 2007. The percentage of all traffic deaths caused by distracted driving rose from 11% in 1999 to 16% in 2008. Distracted driving crashes are more common in urban areas. Overall, 40% of all crashes happened in urban areas in 2008, up from 33% a decade earlier. Only 1/3 of Americans had cell phones in 1999, but by 2008, over 91% of us did. Texting is on the rise, up from 9.8 billion messages a month in December 2005 to 110.4 billion in December 2008. Another study conducted at Virginia Tech found that texting drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a collision than non-texters. And although the AAA reports 95% of drivers polled acknowledged the fact that texting while driving is dangerous, but still 21% of those people had done it recently anyway. Another thing that happens when a driver is texting is that the driver's mind will be on the message and not on the road. This, of course, prevents the driver from thinking quickly to a situation on the road because he or she is thinking about the message. Car and Driver magazine conducted a study in which the driver of a vehicle would actually read and type out a message while driving. The study solely focused on the driver's reaction time to a light mounted on the windshield at eye level. This was meant to stimulate the car's brake lights. The test was conducted on an old airplane runway, so it's very straight, away from pedestrians and traffic and real-life driving conditions. The passenger would trigger the light, and the driver was instructed to brake every time he or she saw that red light. While reading a text and driving at 35 miles an hour, the driver's average baseline reaction time was about 0.57 seconds, nearly tripled when they were texting to 1.44 seconds. So while texting, his response time was increased by 1.36 seconds. These figures correspond to an extra 45 to 41 feet, respectively, before they're hitting the brakes. So think about what could happen in those 41 to 45 feet if you're not paying attention while driving. So lastly, the study also compared driving while under the influence of alcohol to texting while driving. The results were eye-opening. The driver drank enough alcohol to be at the legal limit of 0.08% blood alcohol content, and the driver's reaction time after drinking averaged about 0.64 seconds. And by comparison, it only added about 7 or so feet to their stopping distance. The results at 70 miles per hour were similar. The same driver's response time after they were sober, of course, had the base time of 0.56 seconds. And his time while reading a text message ended up being 0.91 seconds. And while he was writing a text message, his reaction time bumped up to 1.24 seconds, which is crazy. But his intoxicated number increased only by 0.04% or seconds over the base score to a total of 0.60 seconds. This test was used also at an airplane runway away from traffic and road signs and pedestrians, and was only to test reaction time. So the method that most of us use, like driving with two hands on the wheel in front of our faces, with our phone in front of our faces, it would make it difficult to do anything other than hit the brakes. If anything happened in someone's peripheral vision that they could not see while they were texting, the drivers could possibly face a fatal accident. So to sum it all up for you, it's pretty easy and simple. Don't text while drive. Everyone thinks that they're the best driver or a pretty good one to say the least or whatever, but all it takes is for you to take your eyes off the road for a few seconds and an accident can occur. You've heard how texting while driving is, if not equal, worse than driving under the influence of alcohol. That should be enough right there. All studies that have been conducted are there for a reason. So many people have cell phones and text regularly on a minute-to-minute basis, and it's hard not to send a quick text while behind the wheel. But for your sake and for others' sakes out there, wait until you stop driving. You'll see the person soon enough. So thank you all for watching. I hope I have informed you or persuaded you in some form, way, shape, or form to not text while drive and influence others to not text while drive, because it is a serious issue and I believe that it needs to be stopped. So thank you all for watching. Bye.